Now on Sunrise and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, a U.S. Border Patrol agent has died after an ATV crash early Wednesday. Sources say the agent was chasing a group of immigrants who crossed the border illegally. And power is now restored to thousands of residents in North Carolina after a days-long outage caused by gunfire. And in Washington, President Biden delivered remarks at the 10th Annual National Vigil for all victims of gun violence.
And take a look here, a live look, courtesy of the Victoria College Emergency Technology Complex weatherbook site. A little bit of fog in the distance, otherwise pretty clear this morning. When will it cool down again? It's on the way, trust me on that one. We'll talk about it coming up in your forecast.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Astrain. Today is the 8th day of December 2022. The time is now 6:31 on your Thursday morning. And today is a Bodhi day, the day Siddhartha Gautama, the founder of Buddhism, it's really hard to say, he achieved enlightenment through meditation. It took 49 days of unbroken meditation. Trey, let's go ahead and get a look at our forecast.
I'll sit and meditate here for a while. No, I'm just joking. All right, let's
Siddhartha Gautama, I can't do it.
Oh, sometimes my name is even too hard to say, so I feel your pain. 72 degrees on the outside currently in Victoria, so the winds are 10 miles per hour. So definitely keeping that moisture in place, and some patchy fall this morning, primarily still along the coast, and will remain along the immediate coast throughout the majority of the day today, with my visibility there. North of Port Lavaca, it's looking a little better with good visibilities, and by 9 a.m. the fog is all gone except along the immediate coastline. Everywhere else have good 12-mile visibilities throughout the day. So once again, your weather headlines. Areas of fog this morning, nothing widespread, no advisories as of yet. Warm and humid conditions still continue. Rain chances coming into play beginning tomorrow. Then looking further down the road next week, cool temperatures arriving, give us a bit of a cool blast coming in, make it feel more like the Christmas season by that time. And temperatures today, though, well above 80 degrees by the afternoon time, 80 degrees at 4 o'clock in the afternoon in Victoria, and starting off tomorrow morning in the 60s, 70s, and 80s by the time we get to Friday afternoon and evening. So definitely warm temperatures on the outside currently and for the next couple of days. Cooler next week. Rain chances also in the forecast beginning tomorrow. And how long will it last, though? We'll take a look at that and those percentages and temperatures later on this half hour when the full forecast comes around. Make it a great day today and be safe and happy throughout the day. Carolina?
Thank you, Trey. The U.S. Border Patrol is mourning the loss of one of their own this morning. A Border Patrol agent died Wednesday while chasing a group of immigrants who crossed the border illegally. The agent assigned to the McAllen station was on an ATV while tracking the immigrants near Mission. The agent crashed while tracking the immigrants and was found unresponsive by fellow agents. The agent was taken to a nearby hospital where he later died. The power is back on for tens of thousands in North Carolina. The lights were out for more than 30,000 homes after what investigators say was a targeted attack on a pair of power substations. The good news comes as investigators continue to search for a suspect or suspects in the shooting, offering a $75,000 reward for information that leads to the shooter or shooters responsible. We now turn to the mystery surrounding the murder of 4 college students in Idaho. Police have released new video they hope will provide new leads in the case.
Detectives in Idaho are releasing body camera footage, hoping it can provide new leads in the case of those 4 murdered college students.
Moscow 77.
The videos show officers on patrol in Moscow, Idaho, in the early morning hours of November 13th, around the time investigators believe Zainer Kernodle, Ethan Chapin, Madison Mogan, and Kaylee Gonsalves were killed in a home near the University of Idaho.
Taking out 21?
Yeah. In one video, officers are seen issuing citations to 3 teens for underage drinking. An apartment complex across the street from the victim's home is visible, just steps away from the officers. Investigators say the people in the videos have been cleared, and the incidents have nothing to do with the murders. But they released the video hoping someone familiar with the area is able to spot something, anything out of place.
It can be used from a historic standpoint. That information could potentially become relevant later in the investigation because you just never know.
It comes as detectives announce they need help locating a white 2011 to 2013 Hyundai Elantra, like this one spotted near the murder scene. Investigators believe the driver or any possible passengers may have critical information to share regarding this case.
That can mean a number of things. It could be that they have eliminated all the cars in the proximity of the victim house. This could be just an elimination, it could be a witness, or it could be a suspect.
Investigators do not have the car's license plate number, and no suspects have been named. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, New York.
3 people were arrested during a traffic stop late Tuesday. The vehicle was pulled over by Hallettsville police in the 400 block of West Fairwind Street. The driver was wanted on 4 outstanding warrants. The passenger was taken into custody for a warrant on an assault on law enforcement. Another passenger taken into custody on drug-related charges. Authorities say the passenger had 5 grams of methamphetamine and over a gram of black tar heroin in her possession. That passenger also had 2 outstanding warrants out of Lavaca County. President Biden is standing with gun violence survivors and victims' families. The president attended the 10th annual National Vigil for Victims of Gun Violence Wednesday. Biden spoke about the work that's been accomplished since the first National Vigil 10 years ago, as well as the work that still lies ahead, calling for common sense gun reform. Here are some of the top headlines you can read in this week's Port Lavaca Wave. The Tree of Angels ceremony honors the 230 victims who passed due to violent crime in the Crossroads area. Calhoun County law officials take 15 people into custody this past week, plus the Seadrift ban returns. You can read these stories and more at portlavacawave.com. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is the Time Magazine Person of the Year. The announcement was made Wednesday morning on the Today Show. Zelensky and the Ukrainian people will share the honor as the country continues to defend itself from a Russian invasion that military experts thought would end with a Ukrainian defeat in mere weeks. If going out on the water is in your weekend plans, we have what you can expect to catch. Here's 25 News Now sports director Gino Perez and sports reporter. Actually, that's coming up later. Here's Gino Perez with your fishing report.
Grab your poles, Crossroads. It's time to go fishing, and this one is a quick one. Fishing is great in both East and West Matagorda Bay. In Port O'Connor, things are slow, mainly catches of oversized redfish. In Rockport, redfish are best in 2 to 4 feet of water before the cold front. Good luck and be safe out there. That's your 25 Sports Now fishing report.
Okay, get your cell phone and scan this QR code. It's our quick response code to download the Crossroads Today app. You can get breaking news alerts, vote on our viewer poll, get the latest news, weather, and sports, and learn all about our ongoing contest right there on the app. Submit those news tips and those Christmas tree lights and Santa photos. And the time is now 6:38 on your Thursday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. We take a look at the First United Methodist Church and their decision on whether or not to leave the National United Methodists.
U.S. hospitals now stretched thin amid a spike of COVID, the flu, and respiratory illnesses. I'm ABC's Justin Finch with what doctors are recommending for you and your family.
Take a look at this right quick. We're 15 degrees higher than we should be this time of year and in Victoria, and the warm temperatures are going to continue for the next several days down the road. Run this model all the way into next week. Take a look at this. The cool air begins to move on in. We actually go at or even below normal coming up by Thursday, Friday of next week, maybe even earlier than that. We'll talk about the temperature change and the rainfall coming up in your forecast.
Palace Bingo in Victoria. Cash payouts nightly. Fantastic food and fun for the whole family. Come out for the fun and stay for the cash. Palace Bingo on Houston Highway in Victoria. Friends, food, cash, bingo.
Palace Bingo, where friends meet friends.
Black Americans intentionally discriminated against at every step of the home buying process.
The value of my home is not indicative on the color of my skin.
Bias in real estate. You guys told this agent we're prepared to pay cash.
Yes, we were still denied.
We were blocked that day.
What happened when a real estate agent was recorded on camera during an undercover investigation? All new Dr. Phil.
Kelly's home for the holidays with
Christina Applegate. Give it up, y'all. You just got your star in the Walk of Fame. It was your only public appearance since you were diagnosed with MS. How are you feeling?
I'm honestly still in shock, to be truthful with you.
A lot of people don't talk about this.
If we have a platform to be honest, we do more good than we do harm.
So I have a little surprise for you.
Next, Kelly.
Oh my God, I have tears in my eyes. I'm not kidding.
Palace Bingo, where friends meet friends. And with over $500,000 in prizes given away every month, Palace Bingo is the place to be. We've got more chances to win. We've got cash payouts nightly. Friends, food, cash, bingo.
Palace Bingo, where friends meet friends.
Good morning, good morning. I've been talking about cool air headed our way, but when's it going to be here? Let's kind of look at this future tracker upper level model here and give you an indication of what we're thinking. High pressure has been dominating the Gulf of Mexico and our region for the last several days, keeping the cool air away and also keeping the warm and humid air into our area here. Let's run this model. No big changes over the next few days through the weekend pretty much. But we're seeing as we go toward the first part of next week, the trough low pressure digging down in the western parts of the country, bringing cool air down into Texas. Look at Tuesday, about 5 o'clock on Tuesday, the cool air getting closer to us and make its way here, coming up by about Wednesday or so. With nice cool temperatures, making it feel more like the season. Just hang on, folks. Eventually it'll get here. Front's been stalled to the north, didn't have the ability to come southward as you saw there because of the upper level conditions, but it'll make its way to the south coming up by the middle part next week and give us some rain chances, and then the cooler air will take hold, feeling more like the season. Just wait a little while till it gets here. It'll get here. Our full forecast to give you the numbers coming up a little bit later on before we go this half hour. Carolina?
Thank you, Trey. This morning, there's concern across the country amid rising rates of COVID-19, flu, and respiratory illnesses in what doctors are calling a triple-demic. The climbing cases are straining hospital resources, and there are new reports the nation's pharmacies and drugstores are seeing spikes in demand for cold and flu medications.
Hospitals nationwide are stretched to their limits amid surging cases of the flu, RSV, and COVID. From New York State,
these three viruses are all making it very difficult for us to practice routine medicine.
To Texas.
Our hospital is full, our ICU is full.
80% of adult hospital beds are full, the highest peak since the Omicron surge. And now hospitals are seeing COVID cases rise again. The CDC director urging Americans to consider masking and get their flu and COVID vaccines.
We are seeing high rates of flu, higher than we've seen this time of year in over a decade.
With an earlier than expected spike, some local pharmacies don't have enough supplies of over-the-counter cold and flu medication on hand. The White House saying the supply chain for those medicines is strong.
My grandson, who's in second grade, still wears a mask.
In Maine, respiratory illnesses are forcing some schools to close. Nevada now fast-tracking nursing licenses to handle a flood of pediatric patients.
It's unusually high so early in the year as we worry about what's going to happen later on this month after the holidays.
She had low oxygen, which they call hypoxia, and a fever, and they said that they needed to admit her right away.
This family says their toddler had to wait almost a full day in the ER before a hospital bed opened up. After 4 days of treatment, she's now recovering from RSV, the flu, and a collapsed lung. And for those looking for over-the-counter treatments, try checking several stores or shopping online. And doctors say generic versions of your go-to medications are also an option. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Leading us to your viewer poll, have you recently been hospitalized with the flu, RSV, or COVID? All right, let's take a look. 2% of you say yes, and 98% of you say no. We want to keep hearing from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote. You can also scan the QR code right there on your screen to take part. Methodist churches in the state are leaving United Methodist. Over 400 churches left the denomination last Saturday. Leaders at First United Methodist Church in downtown Victoria say they're staying with United Methodist. Leaders at John Wesley United Methodist Church say they have not taken a vote yet on whether they are leaving. They added a meeting with a vote that is planned next month. Texas churches that are leaving United Methodist disagree with the church's rulings, namely on same-sex marriage. The time is now 6:44 on your Thursday morning. Still to come, we hear from Rachel Nessel about the Victoria College and Workforce and Continuing Education offerings for the spring semester.
This week on Around Texas, we travel to the piney woods of East Texas, where where a lone Forest Service biologist has championed the preservation of an endangered species of woodpecker. We'll also look at how the telebehavioral care program at Texas A&M is addressing the mental health crisis and impacting the lives of Texans by providing access to virtual counseling in rural areas and schools on Around Texas.
Every day we help kids navigate the realities of the world and make healthy, lifelong choices. Kids learn about alcohol, tobacco, and drugs in lots of ways, often from friends and siblings. While kids may hear lots of harmful information, parents do play a huge role in helping them make the right decision. Talking to your child, sitting down to a family meal at night just to discuss how their day went, or encouraging extracurricular activities can make all the difference.
In this morning's GMA First Look, cracking down on TikTok.
I like all of you.
The social media giant accused of being a malicious and menacing threat by Indiana's Attorney General. The state filing 2 separate lawsuits against TikTok and its Chinese parent company ByteDance, accusing them of threatening privacy and child safety.
The platform has really stressed that it's primarily an entertainment site. TikTok has said that it has never turned over data to the Chinese government, but U.S. policymakers have not been convinced by that.
TikTok telling ABC News they are confident they'll satisfy all reasonable U.S. national security concerns. So will other states follow suit? And what does this mean for TikTok users? It's all coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Rebecca Jarvis, ABC News, New York.
This is how it feels to do more with less asthma, thanks to Dupixent. Dupixent is not for sudden breathing problems. It's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma and can help improve lung function for better breathing in as little as 2 weeks. Dupixent helps prevent asthma attacks and can even reduce or eliminate oral steroids. Imagine that. Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Who knows what you can do when you do more with less asthma? Ask your asthma specialist about Dupixent.
Good morning, good morning. The current time is 6:47, almost 6:48. Temperature starting off in the 70s this morning and rising to the 80s by the afternoon time. More of a spring type feel than a December feel, but hang on folks, this will be changing to more of a favorable cool feel coming up next week. And lows in the 60s, once again topping the 80-degree mark for your day tomorrow, and the daytime high for your Friday. And a little bit of patchy fall this morning, otherwise cloudy skies. And some rain chances to the west of San Antonio, they'll be holding there for now. Keeping us mostly dry, but the rain chance will increase a little bit for your day tomorrow in the daytime heat primarily, and the better instability during the day. So we'll keep a 30% chance in for your day tomorrow. Not today though, 81 degrees, morning fog here and there. Be careful driving out there in those fog banks. They're kind of few and far between though, but they could come up on you. In the 60s to near 70 for the overnight low, cloudy skies, patchy fog. And for your day tomorrow, introducing those slight rain chances, 30% chances. High still in the 80s. Warm weekend. Notice the big cool down coming up for next week.
I'm here with Rachel Nessel, Victoria College's Director of Workforce and Continuing Education. She's here to share details about their Spring 2023 Workforce and Continuing Education program. All right, Rachel, welcome to Sunrise.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today. I really appreciate it.
So talk to us about what kinds of trades and courses you're offering this upcoming semester.
Absolutely. So Workforce and Continuing Education, we offer non-credit training. So it's short-term training that is intended to upgrade a skill. And some of our classes even provide nationally recognized certifications. So some of them that I wanted to mention today, so we have a very popular Microsoft Excel class that we do both in the evenings and on the weekends. We also are expanding our offerings in Spanish. So if you work in the healthcare profession, we have 2 different levels that we're going to be doing. Spanish for the medical professional, so those people that can learn to communicate better with their patients.
And that's so important, especially in our rural region.
Absolutely, yes. And then our industrial trades is our biggest section of our schedule. So we utilize NCCER curriculum. After the completion of our courses, students will receive a nationally recognized certification. And that includes trades like electrical, HVAC, millwright, pipe fitting, plumbing, power line worker, and on and on.
Wow, you can really pick up a lot of skills at Victoria College, and not just in a traditional form, but in the form of certificates of training that can get you out there in the workforce.
That's right, and we do offer all of those trades in the evenings. Many of our students work during the day, come to us in the evenings so that they can improve their lives and get into those great careers that are in high demand in our area.
Well, we're here in the early part of December now. What is the registration process like, and what are the deadlines?
Yes, so we have just launched a new online registration process. We're very excited that our students can now go online and register for these classes. They don't have to be dependent on our office anymore to register. So over the Christmas break, we'd love for students to look at our schedule and go ahead and register themselves online, go ahead and pay so that they can jump right in and start in the spring.
And how can they get in touch with y'all if they have any questions?
Yes, so our office is open until December 16th. Until then, they can call us at 361-582-2528, or they can email us at wce@victoriacollege.edu. We also have a new Facebook page that we're going to be posting on all December, and that's Victoria College Workforce and Continuing Education.
Wow, thank you so much, Rachel, for coming on the show and for sharing all this information. Yes. I know Victoria College is a huge champion in education and also in helping our industrial businesses continue to grow. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
And coming up, don't go anywhere. News to know before you go.
It may seem a little bit confusing that
It's not confusing to me at all.
It was a simple plan.
Why did you rent Mr. Stewart a room?
He needed a place to go, and I thought I needed the extra money, so I would rent him the upstairs of the townhouse.
But having her old friend stay got old.
He broke several things in the house. He then moved his girlfriend in.
Had you ever had tenants?
No, I did not.
Not easy.
Never going to do it again.
Next, Judge Judy.
Are you ready to change your career path? Come join our sales team at the Victoria Television Group. Do you have a passion for customer service and sales? This is the right place for you. We offer great benefits: medical, dental, life, 401k, paid vacation, and much more. Call me and let me show you why the Victoria Television Group sales team is the right choice for you.
Need weather around the clock? When the weather changes in the Crossroads, you need a reliable source. Visit Interactive Radar online for the latest conditions in the Crossroads area. CrossroadsToday.com. Weather at your fingertips.
And now it's time for today's question of the day. Our question is, what was John Lennon's middle name? Okay, Trey, we have a few guesses here on our Facebook page. Let's take a look. Winston, that's from Janet. Winston, that's from Michael. Mary Helen has no clue, and Orlu guesses Buford. And I guess Eleanor, but I don't know if that's right.
Oh, no, it's not Eleanor, but great guessing, everyone. Thank you for chiming in on the question of the day. The answer is Winston. There you go. Of course, this is the 42nd anniversary of the death of John Lennon in New York City, so kind of remembering him and the great music that he is responsible for. So there you go. Thanks for playing with the question of the day today and giving us your answer. Tomorrow, have a great another question of the day coming up for your Friday to get your Friday started off right.
Some suspected thieves crashed their getaway car fleeing police in South Florida on Wednesday morning. A Miami-Dade police detective said the suspects were thought to be stealing mail from a neighborhood when police caught up with them. The suspects sped off, but the car eventually flipped over on railroad tracks near the Miami Executive Airport. The car crashed through a fence and landed upside down in someone's driveway. Police said 3 suspects were detained and they were still searching for a 4th. Miami-Dade Fire Rescue says medics took 2 traumatically injured patients to a local hospital. It's unclear whether or not they were 2 of the suspects. This notice is for those summoned for jury duty on Monday, December the 12th at the Victoria County Courthouse. You're asked to not appear. That 8:30 a.m. session is canceled and will not be rescheduled. A specially called Victoria City Council meeting will take place Friday afternoon at 1 at the Victoria Community Center Annex at 2905 East North Street. On the agenda, a capital improvement plan update and an update on the American Rescue Plan Act funding allocation. Here's a look at the top headlines you'll find in this week's Cuero Record. A Cuero doctor retires after 6 decades of service at the Cuero Regional Hospital. Plus, Cuero authorities investigated a shooting on December 1st. A 24-year-old man from Cuero was shot, and a 28-year-old man from Yoakum was taken into custody. Also, Cuero's 10th annual Christmas celebration in downtown Cuero starts tomorrow at 6 p.m. You can read these stories and more at DeWittCountyToday.com. The Salvation Army of Victoria is making big plans for Christmas. Commanding Officer Captain Kenny Jones says about 150 children will take part in their angel tree distribution on Saturday, December 17th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at 2002 Commerce Street. The Salvation Army is also planning a gift distribution at its office, 1302 North Lewis Street, on Christmas Eve from 6 to 8 p.m. Captain Kenny tells us right now they will hand out gifts to 71 children and 27 parents. This is a house on Tanglewood Street in Victoria. You could submit your holiday photos as well. Just come to crossroadstoday.com, click on the red banner at the top that says 2022 holiday page, then click on the graphic on the holiday page to upload your photo. You can submit house lights, trees, pets, and Santa photos as well. We look forward to seeing them, and we'll select one more entry to profile in our newscast before Christmas Day. We want to invite you to experience our new digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and on your cell phone. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. And we do have time for a final check of our forecast with Trey.
Carolina, take a look at what's going on currently. Temperature is the 70s area wide with some patchy fog around the region this morning. 80s by the afternoon and also for tomorrow afternoon with 60s and 70s in between in the overnight hours. And we continue warm and humid conditions around here as the southerly winds still continue to bring in that moisture. We're looking at some changes coming up next week, which will finally give us some cooler air. We have to wait a little while till it gets here. And no rain today. Rain chances tomorrow on the rise, 30% chances. Because of more instability in the air, we definitely already have the moisture in the air. Just something to get that moisture rising up in the build cloud skyward, which will happen tomorrow, at least on a small time frame. 81 degrees coming up for your day-to-day daytime high. Southerly winds, a little bit gusty near 20 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy, partly cloudy skies throughout the day. Pretty much all the fog is gone within the next hour. 66 degrees overnight tonight, near 70 along the coast. Patchy fog here and there. And then for your Friday, glad to say that, 81 degrees, southerly winds, partly cloudy skies, 30% chance of rain shower or maybe a thunderstorm in your neighborhood. The chances are pretty small and will remain that way right on through the weekend. But look at the temperatures coming up for next week. We dip down into the 60s for highs. That's highs now. Coming up for Tuesday and Wednesday, lows to 50 degrees, so definitely looking forward to that, which brings some cooler air and make it feel more like the season by the time we get to this area, this time frame here. But through the weekend, temperatures still in the 80s, a little bit patchy fog in the morning time, with the rain shower chances coming up for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So keep that in mind. Better chances with the front coming in for your Tuesday, and the temperatures drop in the 60s, coming up for daytime highs, low 60s at that, 50s, even some low 40s possible for Tuesday and Wednesday as well. So in the meantime, make it a great day today. Be careful out there, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Trey, and thank you for joining us. Have a great rest of your Thursday morning, and be sure to come to crossroadstoday.com for all your local news, weather, and sports, and tune in tonight for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10 for more Crossroads Today.